guys, it's Jessica from Peace Love Books, and today I'm here with a library book haul. I think this might be the first time I'm ever doing this kind of video on my channel. I am really bad at going to my library. I don't really like the location of where my library is to where my house is, but it's really close to my post office, which is also obnoxious to have to go to. But if I ever have to go to the post office, because I do have an Etsy shop, I go weekly now, so I always swing by the library to pick up, and my library actually just opened back up for browsing, so I'm really excited for that, to see the potential for videos. But they have just been doing curbside pickup, which, wear your mask if you're doing curbside pickup for library. My dad also works for a library, and so I made it a goal to utilize my library more. I don't have to buy every book I'm interested in reading, especially if I don't know if I'll love it. So I want to continue to support my local library, and I thought it'd be really fun to possibly do a video where librarians choose my TBR and see if like I can get 3 recs from 3 different librarians and make a video of that. If that's something you're interested in, let me know. But I have a good stack of books. I've been trying to get my nonfiction from the library as well, because I want to read one nonfiction book a month, and nonfiction is expensive. And so a lot of books that I'm getting from the library are ones I can't get immediately on audiobook, and that usually is like really popular new releases. So I'll go ahead and get to the books that I've gotten recently from the library. So I'm also going to include the ones I've checked out from Hoopla and Libby, so I'll get to those at the end. But right now I have Accidentally Engaged by Farah Herron. This one is our Ravished by Romance pick for March. Our live show is on next Saturday, so I have to read this next week. This is a fake engagement romance. I'm super excited for it. She wants to compete in a couples baking competition, and so she agrees to pretend to be engaged to this guy her parents actually want her to marry. So it sounds really great. She describes him as the body of Captain America, a delicious British accent, and lives right across the hall. This sounds so fun. I'm so excited. And this is a new release. So it came out at the beginning of March, and I already have a copy from my library, so I'm very excited for this. Another new release, this one came out in January. I thought this was sooner than that, but this one is Fat Chance Charlie Vega by Crystal Maldonado. I'm so excited for this one. First of all, this cover is stunning, and this one, our main character is fat, and she has to deal with a lot of people like commenting on that. Like, her mother constantly tries to leave her weight loss shakes, and I just could not imagine living like that with that kind of pressure around you and outlook around you. But she ends up starting a tentative relationship with a boy, but then she figures out that the boy actually asks out her best friend, who is skinny, popular, athletic, totally dope, and she's doesn't know how she feels about that. So I'm very, very excited to read this one soon. Then another new release that I'm super excited I got is Concrete Rose. This one took a while to come in because it is so popular, but I have it, and this one is the prequel to The Hate U Give, so it's the dad's story, and he has to deal with being a teenage dad or a young dad. I don't remember if he's like late teens or if he's like 20 when he ended up having his first child, but I'm so excited to read this. I love The Hate U Give, so I'm excited to have gotten this from the library. Another one I'm super excited to have is The Year of the Witching, and this one is by Alexis Henderson. This hardback was super expensive on Amazon, and I kept on like looking at it wanting to buy it, and I was like, no, I can just get it from the library, and I did get it from the library. I really want to read this. I know it is about witches, and that's really all I know. I know it's like March, and typically I read more spooky things in the fall season, but I like to mix up my reading a little bit, so hopefully I can get to this one soon. The next 3 I'm not going to explain too much about, because you're probably like, why did you get those? They're for a specific video that is going to take me forever to do. I've been doing it for like a month now, and it's still probably going to take me another month too, but they are these 3. So we have Vision in White by Nora Roberts. I could not find the audiobook anywhere of this, which made me super annoyed. Then we have Bet Me by Jennifer Cruz, which is definitely an oldie. I used to have the mass market of this, and I think I got rid of it a while ago, and this one came out in 2004. So I've heard though that I think there's a plus size character in here, which I'm really excited about. And then I also got The Lady's Guide to Celestial Mechanics by Olivia Waite. This one is not on audio, and I'm so annoyed. So I had to get the paperback. I also think that the ebook was like had a really long wait on my Hoopla, so I just went ahead and got the paperbacks of these. I don't really know what these are about, so this one I just know is a sapphic romance, which I'm excited for. If you follow me on Instagram, you know I was super upset with the ending to Heartstopper Volume 1, so I immediately went to my library and got 2, because that ending, I'm just like, but what's gonna happen? Like, that party just happened and then it ended. So I'm very excited to read this one. I know I should have just gotten all 4 at once, but I like to give myself a little anticipation. This one's super, super cute. Charlie and Nick, yes, are like best friends now, and like it's kind of turning into something more, and it's adorable. So I can't wait to read this. I'll probably read it this weekend and fly through it. The two, well, okay, so I have three. I've had this one out from the library for like 6 months now, and I still haven't gotten to it yet, but it is The Climb. This one is about the disaster on Everest that Into Thin Air is about, that John Krakauer wrote, and this is the other Anatoly Borkreev's perspective. He actually passed away, I think early 2000s, but he was able to give his account in this book, which is very interesting because Krakauer questions his choices. So it'd be very interesting to read his perspective. So I really want to read this soon. But I also have Push Out, which I talked about in my March TBR. I really am excited to read this as an educator. I read Hood Feminism, and I really loved the parts of that book about education and black girls in schools. This one specifically is about black girls in schools and the school to prison pipeline. So I'm really, really excited to read this. I think it'll be really insightful, and I can learn a lot from that. And then I also have Dead Mountain, which I think I might have talked about already, but this one is about the Dyatlov Pass incident. This one I believe is like when they were like mysteriously like dead, and there was like radiation, and like they were naked, some of them, and like some of them had no tongues. And I recently read an article from the New York Times. I get their like daily emails because I get a free subscription as an educator, which is so nice. And they actually talked about this and how like scientists have now proven what happened, and I don't know if I actually believe that. So I'm very interested to see what this book has to say, because it sounds creepy. Also, so what's really interesting is that I reserved We Are Not Free by Tracy Chee during the Lunar New Year readathon that happened about a month ago, I think, and it finally came out at the library, and it's just very disheartening and anger-inducing how much this book is reflecting what's happening today with Asian Americans, because this is about the Japanese internment camps, and the opening chapter is a boy going home from school, and he decided to walk home instead of take the bus, and he was attacked by other white boys, and it was just like, it just made me angry. And so I'm listening to this book now, and it's taking place in a Japanese internment camp of a bunch of teenagers, and it's going from different perspectives, and we have all different narrators, which I absolutely love how we have different narrator for each perspective, and I believe we're gonna get 14 different perspectives, so I really like it. I think that this is just the perfect book, especially to put in your classroom if you're an English teacher, or for like high school kids. Even I think middle school kids would definitely be able to read this book so far from what I've read, and it just goes by really quickly, and I think like breaking it up into characters is a really great way to tell this story. So I'm really, really enjoying this so far, and I'm excited to that I finally got the audiobook for it. I did finally get the audiobook for My Darling Duke by Stacey Reed. This one, I think she says that she's engaged to this guy who hasn't been around for a while, and then he shows up. So I'm really, really excited for this. This was the pick what I read next for March, so I definitely have to listen to this audiobook. And then I'm excited to go into book 2 because I've heard great things about the second book. I also have the audiobook of Grown Up Pose by Sonia Lally. This one, I guess our main character's in her 30s, and she has to tell her parents that she's getting a divorce, which she doesn't really want to tell her parents that. I think that is really looked down upon in their culture and community. So I'm excited for this. I'm in love with this cover and the colors of this cover, so I'm really excited to pick that up. I also have the audio of Diary of an Accidental Wallflower by Jennifer McQuiston. This one is for a specific video that I'm going to film the intro for in a second that I haven't started yet, but this is the first book in the series, and so she is determined to get this Duke, and she twists her ankle on the eve of the season's most touted event, and she's left standing in the line of wallflowers, and her best friend dances away with the Duke. That's so sad. But then we have a doctor, and he can't stop thinking about her. So this sounds really cute. I'm super excited to read it. I'm super excited for the video that I'm about to start for this audiobook, so keep an eye out for that. Should be coming next week. I never read the synopsis of the next one. So the next one I have is Frankly in Love by David Yoon. I really love Nicole Yoon's books, and so I thought I'd try out her husband's books. And our main character's name is Frank, and he has a girlfriend who he really loves, but she's not Korean, and his parents really expect him to marry a nice Korean girl, and so, or like date and then marry, and so he decides to fake date a family friend, and I don't know if he's gonna like fall for her or what the heck's gonna happen with this. We'll see. It says, life throws him a curveball, and he's left wondering whether he ever really knew anything about love or himself. I don't know what's going to happen in this book. It actually sounds really good now that I've read the synopsis. So I didn't read the synopsis before getting it because I just knew the author, but I'm excited for that. And that was a quick little book haul. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Let me know if you go to your library, when the last time you went to your library was, when you use your library. I literally get all my audiobooks from my library, from Libby and Hoopla. Whenever I post it on Instagram, people always ask me like, what app are you using? It's totally free. I have 2 different library cards. I have one for the city where I live and then one for the city where I teach. And I have access to so many amazing audiobooks. It does take a little bit for the more popular ones to come in. So that's why I get the physical copies of books when I can't get the audio, but I am excited. If you guys want more like monthly library hauls, let me know. And let me know if you want that library reading vlog, if that's something you're interested in, let me know. And that's all I have. As always, thank you so much for watching and have a good day. Bye.